Hello, Facebook friends. It's Jennifer Darling, your positively successful sales coach with Darling Coaching. And here I am again with another fabulous guest for you. I have had such great reaction from everybody, private messaging me, Facebook messaging me, saying, thank you so much, Jennifer, for bringing us some awesome women to listen to and encourage us with our business. And especially for entrepreneurs and small business owners, this has really been a fabulous series of positively successful women in business. And I'm particularly excited about our guest tonight because if you've been watching the last 2 days, we really have been leading up to talking with Christina tonight. Last night we had Lori who was talking about how to manage your finances and your profits in your business. And she actually said that one of her super tips is making sure that you're living a healthy lifestyle. And I'm like, thank you so much for teeing this interview up for me and Christina tonight, because that's exactly what we're going to be talking about this evening. And I'm really excited to bring that to you. I know as busy people and busy entrepreneurs, a lot of times it's very hard to find energy in your life. And so Christina is going to be here tonight to help us figure out some ways that we can take control of that and have more energy when we're running our business. So let me tell you a little bit about our guest, Christina, tonight. She once struggled just to get through the day. Don't you ever feel like that? I'm sure there's lots of people who feel like that. Her lifestyle was a merry-go-round of unhealthy habits and constant stress. When she was diagnosed with an autoimmune disease, it all came full circle, and she knew that she had to change something in a big way. This inspired countless hours of her getting education and training and really soul-searching. And after 13 years, she made the bold decision to leave her career in corporate banking. Wow, we've heard that before, right? Leave these stressful jobs and follow her passion for helping others achieve their wellness goals. Now, once in the throes of a clinical nervous breakdown, she was there, and now she considers herself a self-care junkie. And she's on a mission to help people thrive. So welcome, Christina, to Positively Successful Women in Business.
Thank you very much. I'm excited to be here.
Awesome. So I gave everybody a little bit of an overview about your business, but tell us a little bit more. Tell us what you really love to do in your business.
Sure. So along with my husband, we own a company called Inspired Wellness, and we work with fitness, nutrition, and lifestyle, but on the surface, that just tells you a really 30,000-foot view of what we do, right? What I do with my clients is I dive a lot deeper, and it slowly has evolved into a lifestyle transformation. So what I noticed is so many of my clients, we worked on the nutrition, we worked on the exercise, but there was that key component that was missing, and it was always that they felt like they were putting themselves last. Most of my clients are women, they're working women, whether they own their own business or they work for someone else. And they always feel stretched really thin and like they have zero time for themselves. And through my own struggles, I had learned about, how to prioritize and learn how to say no and put yourself first. And so it just evolved into personal training with a touch of life coaching, taking care of yourself, and your fitness and your nutrition, that can be in place. But if the mental and the spiritual is not, then it all goes downhill and or can't be sustained. So that's why I call myself a self-care junkie. People who love Gabrielle Bernstein, they might know what that term means. And I am on a mission to help my clients. So I do a lot of things with them that might be out of the ordinary, like meditation and self-care checklists that we'll talk about. But yeah, that's kind of how it evolved.
I love that because you do hear a lot of let's eat right and let's exercise. Eat right, exercise. Eat right, exercise. And I've done that. Eat right, exercise, and then not have any results, or you have some results and you get more energy, only to kind of fall back into the place that you were before.
Right.
So I love the fact that you add that extra component, which really makes this a triad about how, and not triage, but triad about how to take advantage of this and really change your whole lifestyle, like your whole life, instead of just, some small chunks and bits. I want to remind everybody, Christina, that we are on a Facebook Live here tonight. And so if you have any questions, if you're watching us tonight, if you have any questions Or, we already have a couple people watching. You're out there. We'd love you just to hit a comment and say hello and know that we're here and that we will acknowledge your comments. We'd love your questions, and Christina will be open to answering any questions that she can to the best of her knowledge. So feel free to pop the questions on in the comments. That'll help us with our show. And I want to also tell you that Christina brought a very special gift for everybody tonight. So since we are talking about health and wellness and mindset, she's getting us filled up tonight with some great tools. I find that tools are really the important part into success. So she's brought us a tool tonight that's called the self-care checklist. Christina, why don't you tell us what this tool is and how people can use it?
Sure. So I developed this because I found that accountability is critical on anyone's journey. That's why you might hire a coach in the first place or a trainer. And so it's great to have these goals every day for self-care, but how are you going to keep yourself, accountable? And so when I developed the self-care checklist as a checklist, and every day it's you checking in with yourself to make sure that you're keeping that promise and that commitment to do these different activities every single day. And it's funny, I often have clients who, when they stop using the checklist, they feel very out of alignment, and it's almost like they didn't know how sick they were until they're better, right? Or they get better and then they kind of go back and they haven't meditated and they haven't done their 3-minute miracle and all these different things that we'll talk about. And so I just find that it's that essential piece that you need to make sure that you take care of yourself every day. And it's really simple.
Like, what kinds of things are on it?
Absolutely. And I'll be sharing this, and we'll be sharing this later. So there's a few things on here. Number one is an affirmation. So an affirmation every day, it can be as simple as I am love, I love myself, sending good energy out into the world, whatever it is for you. There's a box for every single day. It's an affirmation where you're affirming your day. The next thing is something I call the 3-minute miracle. So the reason I created this is because everyone has 3 minutes in their day, right? No matter how busy you are. So essentially it's 3 minutes right after you get up and you spend it on yourself. It could be a quick stretch. It could be some lemon water to get your digestive system going. It could be reading a passage from a book, but it's 3 minutes that you dedicate to yourself the second you wake up, right? So no matter how busy you are, you can do that, right? Then there's meditation. So everyone has different ways of meditating, and so really it's just, it could be 5 minutes. It could be going for a walk in nature. It could be listening to a guided meditation. So that's on there. Another one I am a book nerd. Book Nerds Unite. If there's any book nerds on here, high five to you.
Nerds, make sure you raise your hand so we know you're there. I've got tons and tons of books.
Oh,
I just have to read them.
Well, you will with this new tip. So, okay.
Good.
I find it fascinating, right? So a book is a culmination of years and years. It's like someone brain dumping all of their wisdom into this book of 200-300 pages, and I'm fascinated by it. So I have on the self-care checklist to read 10 plus pages per day. And again, right. So why do I do that?
10
That's
pages.
Not very many pages.
That doesn't seem overwhelming. I sit down, I'm like, I need to read for an hour, and my brain is just like, I've got so many other things to do. Blah.
Right. And what do you think happens after you read those 10 pages? Sometimes you want to go longer, right?
A couple more, yeah. Or sometimes
if you don't, that's okay.
I did it. Yay!
Exactly. And then you feel that feeling of accomplishment, right? And then it might take a little longer to finish it, but that's okay. You're getting your 10 pages in per day. So I have that on there. Another one I have is envisioning an ideal life. And this one can kind of go hand in hand with the meditation. So I really believe in the energy that we put out in the world. I feel like when we put out good energy, we get good energy back. And so envisioning your ideal life, what do you want out of your life? I want you to sit down. I want you to think about it. I want you to think about the emotions that you're going to have when you're there. Almost where I want you to think of the smells and the sounds and the sights of this particular goal or feeling or whatever it is. So envisioning your ideal life every single day as if you were already there, right? Putting that positive frequency out there. Another one is random kindness. So that one is pretty self-explanatory, but it's just something simple every day. One thing I love to do is send a meaningful text message each day to just someone of choice. It could be a good friend. It could be a family member. And so that is something that's really simple. Maybe it's, there's so many different ways that people can
right.
find in random ways. So,
and you never know when you might, that tiny little thing might make somebody's day. You just don't know. Like they could be having a horrible day and you send was 2 seconds, like nice little message and change their whole day. That's an awesome idea. I love that.
And then you can also have a really good dialogue too, right? There's so many people that you just wouldn't even think about their story and how amazing it might be. And it really opens you up to new experiences. So that's on there. And then another one is pairing habits. So pairing habits. So this is kind of along the lines of Gretchen Rubin's philosophy. And she's really big on this concept. Essentially, do something you don't like and mix it with something that you do. So as an example, I don't like to drive. But I now look forward to it because driving is now my podcast time. So every time I drive, I listen to my favorite podcast. So I actually find myself going, oh, I don't mind this trip. Another thing I don't like doing is, I enjoy exercise, but there's some days that I just don't want to do it, right? I'm human. There's some days that I would just rather not exercise. So I pair that. I say there's a certain show on Netflix that I'm going to watch every time I get on my bike at home. And so that's kind of my thing. I'm pairing that habit of maybe that day I'm not really feeling my workout, but I have this other thing that I enjoy and I'm putting it together. So you're pairing things.
Great ideas and new ideas. Love it.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. So pairing habits and the list could go on as far as, but just think something that you don't necessarily love, something that you do, marry those two together. Another thing is time blocking. I'm sure you're familiar with this. You strike me as someone who probably does that.
My clients have to time block for sales calls, Christina.
Yes. Okay. I love it.
Yeah, because they have fear of sales calls. So we have to time block sales calls. So now I have to figure out how to pair something good with those sales calls.
Right.
Pairing revenue, they're pairing sales with the sales calls, but that's, something different.
Yeah. I'm sure you'll find something, but so time blocking. It's blocking not every minute. So I do like to leave some time in there. But essentially, I put on my calendar when I'm going to meditate, when I'm going to do my 3-minute miracle, any appointments I have, of course. But self-care is put on my calendar. So is my workout. So these things, I consider them part of my day. And when I time block, I feel in control. And so do my clients, right? So they don't feel that, who feels like this constantly, right? And like you don't know where you're going. You're 100 miles an hour. So time blocking, you can look and you can say, this is where I have time to do things. And you can also set healthy boundaries, right? Actually, I can't do that. I've got da. So time blocking has helped tremendously with just that frenetic schedule.
Do you set a timer? Do you set a timer like on your, you do? Okay.
I do. Yes.
That's a good idea.
It is because then you don't get stuck doing other things. So an email comes in. I mean, right. There's a lot of stimuli in the world nowadays. I've got my TV, I've got my phone, especially if I'm working from home, right? I've got my computer, whatever it is. So when I set a timer, I'm on a mission, right? My time blocking, it says I only need to get this done in an hour. So I need to set that full 60 minutes. And I'm way more productive. My clients are way more productive with this particular tip. So it's controlling your day.
I have something on my table right now that I really got to get done. So you're inspiring me that I need to just like turn everything else off and just time block it. Christina.
Yes. And turn your phone to airplane mode.
Otherwise, it's like swirling around in my head and it's driving me crazy.
Yes. And you won't really be able to focus because your brain is really good at trying to just keep things there for you, kind of simmering in the background. Don't lose that thought.
Yeah, it won't stop percolating and I need to move on.
Right. So that helps quite a lot. A couple more, of course. Yeah, a couple more. So stretch and foam roll. So this is just more, I think that we should stretch and do some sort of foam rolling every single day. If listeners aren't familiar with foam rolling, essentially it's another term for it is called myofascial release. So it's kind of like a not so comfortable version of a deep tissue massage. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's not exactly pleasant, but the more you do it, the better it feels. And it will help you with mobility. And so the different movements that you perform, the way you perform a squat can make or break how you feel after and in general, your recovery, as an example. So having mobility to be able to go a little bit lower and to keep that really good form, that's important when you're performing not just squats, any type of exercise. So something like that just kind of think of it as just breaking down all of that tightness, similar to what you would have in a massage. But like I said, it's not as serene. You're not on the table.
Right. Nobody's giving you lavender oils. Although you could probably put a diffuser in your room and make it more like a
you could just foam roll with the, you
could add that to your list. Stretch, foam roll, and lavender.
Yes. And remember what we talked about envisioning? Maybe at the same time you envision just hair.
Right. So I'm going to Maui on Sunday. So I could be stretching, rolling. I could have some, I don't know, some flowery essential oil and be thinking of Maui, and I've killed 4 birds with 1 stone.
Yep. There you go. Yeah.
I love your idea.
I think everyone could benefit from having a little bit more functional movement in their life. And so that's something that helps. And then another one is journal and reflect. Mm. So, and part of that, it's more of a 2-part. So I have my clients write down one thing they're grateful for or more every single day. It can be one thing, it can be multiple things. But starting your day with gratitude or ending your day, whatever works, I think is really important. I also have them write down something they learned that day. Did you have a really interesting conversation with someone? Did you dive into something that interests you and learn a new skill or whatever it is? Reflect on that, right? Let it soak in. Like I said earlier, there's so many things coming at us, and sometimes we don't absorb things the same way that we might have.
Do you have people physically write it down in a journal, or do you have people put it in an app? Like I have an app for journaling, but I don't really like to use it.
Sure.
So one or another, or how? Just whatever gets it done.
That's what. Yeah, I have them do whatever they're more likely to do. So if they're not a paper person, I don't need to convert them to paper, right? If they're an Excel spreadsheet diva, then please do that. Do what you're more likely to do, right? Don't do something that you're gonna go, I'm over it, right? Do too much effort. So it can be anything.
I do that about sales calls. They're like, well, when's the best time to make sales calls? I'm like, whenever you make them.
Yeah, there's no perfect time, right? I remember that from my thinking. It's like it just needs to get done. At the end of the day, that's what they're looking for, is that little check mark.
Yeah.
And then the last one for that would be I have them write down a word of the day. So maybe the word of the day is enlightenment, or maybe it's whatever it happens to be, right? Word of the day that kind of just describes how your day went and why you feel it went that way. And that's kind of a template they can follow. Now, sometimes people find that they just want to free write and they just want to get all those emotions out. And that's an option as well. But these are templates that they can follow. So it can prompt you and you can get in there and you'd be surprised. You can just get going, right? Once you let your mind calm down, right, and you really get with, just get with yourself and let it out. So that can be really powerful. So that's the checklist. And it sounds like a lot, but it's pretty quick. You know
what? But you didn't say, you have to do 20 squats a day, and you didn't say all that stuff. So, I think this is a doable checklist, and probably if you do those things, especially the stretch and the foam rolling, then you'll be more enticed and likely to do other things. Just like you said about the 10 pages. Read the 10 pages. Once you're done, you might read 2 more or 4 more or whatever. Yes. But just getting going sometimes is the hardest part of accomplishing goals, right?
Well, I'm a big believer in the compound effect too.
What's that?
The compound effect. So little things over time, right? They all add up. Don't get so focused on the big picture that you don't think about everything that you did to get there. That's important. I'd say that's more important than the result.
Well, especially when you're running your own business, it's like it's just insane. It's easy. A lot of times you're just looking forward. Is what I'm trying to say. You're so focused on looking forward. It's like stop for a second, look back at all you accomplished, and you probably will amaze yourself. It's quite crazy.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you for sharing that list. And I just want to remind everybody that we are going to post that list. Christina's going to give you access to that list, so you'll be able to download it and use her simple list to make really big changes in your lives. But before, we download that list and get to that, we still have a lot more content to talk about. So, Christina, can you tell us your thought about and your experience with this phrase, what we think we become?
So, I really think that... I'm going to first tell you about a little study. So there's a study that was done where there were 3 groups of people. And this is just fascinating to me. So group 1, they practice layups every day on the basketball court, right? Just practice layups. Group 2, they did not practice and they did not think about doing it whatsoever. It was just not even in their sphere of influence. 3, they envisioned the act of practicing layups in detail, right? The sound of the ball, the feel of it on their hand, actually doing the layup, going up for the layup. It's been a while since I played basketball, but I'm trying to describe it as best I can.
Right. How you move
your feet, right? How you sway.
Yeah.
So what's surprising is group 1, who they practiced every day, they improved by about 24%, right? So it's expected that they would improve. Group 2, of course, the control group, they didn't improve because they didn't do anything. The group that just thought about it and envisioned it in detail, they improved by 23%, only 1% off. So just envisioning that and really thinking about every single step, they improved by just 1% less than the group that actually did it. So envisioning is a big deal, right? Envisioning where you want to be, envisioning the things that you want for your life. It's huge. And so I think that
fascinating.
I know. And I feel like if you wake up every day, I call it the anxiety scanner. If you're busy and just overwhelmed, it's like you wake up and you go, ooh, what can I worry about today? Right? And you just start looking.
Not like my life.
what can I start thinking about and stressing about, right? And so imagine if you turn that around and you started thinking about, what can I be thankful about today? Mm-hmm. Right? Maybe you're just thankful that you have stress because that means that you're busy, right? And it's better to be busy than to be going, hey, you want to work with me? So, imagine if you start your day just the reverse of that anxiety scanner, and instead you're thinking about how amazing you are and how you are so grateful for all the things in your life and how you're going to deliver for your clients or whoever it is that you serve, right? That will totally change the tone of your day. And you'll just see it pouring out in subconscious ways and interactions that you have with people, in the way that people respond to you and opportunities that will present themselves. People are drawn to that positive energy, right? And so I think it's so important that you think about how you are Superwoman. Don't think about how you're worried and you're stressed and you're incapable, because that could not be farther from the truth.
Mm-hmm. I love it. When I have a big talk, I love thinking about it, like putting myself in the room and seeing my audience and seeing myself doing a great job and how I'm going to start and what I'm going to say and kind of walking through it. I love thinking through that process. Like, I especially do it the night before whatever big talk that I have, because that just, I get to see it, and then I get to wake up. Of course, then I stay up all night seeing it till I get up the next day. But eventually, hopefully that will go away. My envisioning will still never go away because I love that feeling.
Yeah, isn't it? And you can think about every little aspect, and then when you actually get out there, don't you feel a little more prepared? Oh, I've already done this.
Cool. I feel totally prepared. And then when I'm done, I think about it again, like, oh, how did that go? What did that look like? Because sometimes you can give talks, and I've done this trillions of times, I'm like, oh my gosh, did I just talk to a group? I can't even remember what happened. So I try to equally remember what did happen, because sometimes it's like divine intervention, I guess, that I'm just doing this talk. It's crazy. It's crazy.
No, that's a great point, though. But how you envision it beforehand, and that makes a difference in the delivery.
Yep. All right, so let's talk about one more area that you have in your toolkit, which is how your mindset. I mean, you talked about it a little bit already, so I want to see if you have anything else to add to this, is how your mindset sets the tone for your day. So you talked about envisioning yourself as you get up in the morning and turning that around. Any other kind of things to add into that?
Well, so another interesting fact, I feel like I'm a fact nerd. I love facts, and I love looking things up.
I love facts.
So after 16 seconds, a negative thought starts to become your general attitude in that moment. So this two things. One, it means it's really easy to be in a bad mood. There's a lot of things to be in a bad mood about, right?
Yeah.
But 2, it means that you can actually take control more so than you think. You're not just a victim to your thoughts, and you don't have to just be along for the ride. You can decide to counteract that negative thought with something positive. So as it relates to mindset, there's a couple things that I do. One of my favorites is when I think of something negative that has happened, I then imagine it having gone exactly as I had wanted it to go. So I think of, okay, I didn't like that interaction, but this is how I would have done it. And then I just kind of spin it. It's already in the past, but I change myself out of that, right, negative emotion which will then become a negative feeling and then a day. So that's helped tremendously. Is something that's negative, I think about, well, this is how I would have had it go. And it almost feels like that's how it went, to be honest. It's like I started,
interesting. Yeah, so something negative happens, or at least you perceive it to be negative, and then you're immediately thinking to yourself, and it's got to take some practice. Like it just doesn't happen, right? You have to actually. It's
really easy to fall into it. Yeah, the more you do it, the more it becomes like muscle memory.
Huh. I love it.
Great. So that's one. Another one is affirmations.
Mm-hmm.
So not everyone is an affirmation type of gal or guy, and that's totally fine. But I do find that affirmations help a lot of people. So there's a few that I like. And if anyone's ever read Gabby Bernstein's The Universe Has Your Back, these are some that I love from that book. So the first one is, actually, this is not from her book. This is just one that I found randomly. But it is, I am doing my best. Breathe in, and I let go of the rest. Breathe out. And it just brings you back to your center, right? I am doing my best, and I let go of the rest.
So if you are watching us right now, you want to participate. We'd love for you to participate.
Breathe in,
Ivan, hello, Ivan. I see you are on our Facebook Live show, and Judy you're on our Facebook Live show, so you can participate with us. Let's do it one more time for everybody here.
All right, so we breathe in. I am doing my best. Breathe out, and let go of the rest.
I love that. Thank you.
And, it's just kind of rewiring things. And you would usually say this in your head. So you're breathing in, you're breathing out. So that's an affirmation, but also something physical. Another one I like is I choose love instead of fear. So I choose love instead of fear. I choose to see things with love instead of fearful. Fear looks at things like, I have to always be on guard. I have to always wonder about motive, and I always have to, that's how fear looks at things. Love looks at things like, what's the opportunity here? How can I grow? How can I embrace this challenge in this moment? So I choose love instead of fear. And then another one I like is right here, right now, I am enough. So how many people feel like they're not enough? I sometimes still feel that way, right? I have to. Right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So in moments where you're feeling like you're not enough, or like you can't, you're not reaching your potential, you are enough. And so that's another affirmation that my clients have had a lot of success with.
You are perfect just the way you are.
And I believe that. I really do. That's why I'm so passionate about it. I love seeing someone transform from worry and just not taking care of themselves to they just glow right after they reach that level.
Yeah. Well, this is so important in every single aspect of your life, whether it's your personal life, whether it's your relationships with your spouse or your children or your parents, whether it's your health and vitality and your energy, whether it's your business. I mean, really, this is great stuff for every single area in your life and to improve your life. So thank you, Christina, so much for sharing all those tips with us. You probably can't believe it, but we are at the end of our show. We've been just having great
time.
Crazy, isn't it? I know, it goes by so fast.
Oh my gosh, I literally can't believe it's already 4:30. Wow, that's amazing.
It is truly amazing when you are, in your element and you're giving great and valuable tips and practical information that people can share. And I want to make sure that people will be able to get in touch with you. So when we're done, we're going to, in a little while, we're going to be posting the self-care checklist so that you can reach out to Christina and you can get a copy of that self-care checklist. And also for a way, if you're interested in talking with her more about what she does and how she works with people, you'll be able to find that link on the comment section here below. And we want to make sure that if you need some help from Christina, you know how to get in touch with her as well. So she's also linked on this Facebook Live video, so you can see that I've tagged her on the Facebook Live video. And Catherine just said thank you so much for the great information. Catherine's right here.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for coming.
And Ivan is 7:30 p.m. He's staying up late over in New York.
We appreciate it.
Visiting us from New York. So thanks for joining us, Ivan. All right, Christina, any last words before we wrap up tonight?
I would just say be bold. Do that thing that really scares you, and you just never know what's on the other side of that. And it's usually something that you could not have even imagined.
Awesome. I love it. Well, thank you for wrapping up the show with that. And then
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So everybody, thank Christina for being on our show tonight. Tomorrow, we're going to have a special edition. It's actually going to be at noon tomorrow, Pacific Standard Time. We're going to be talking with Deanne Gamba. And Deanne is the organize your life person. So if you are just a hot mess or a semi-hot mess or a tiny little hot or like a warm mess, she's going to be here to help you and give you some tips on how you can organize your life so you can be more productive. So make sure to join us tomorrow at noon on Positively Successful Women in Business. Have a great night, everyone. Have a great night, Christina, and we'll chat with you all again soon.
Thank you. See you soon.